What's happening, everybody? Monkey Mike back here from Monkey Wrench, and thank you for joining me today. There's my big fast spiel. I'm trying to get faster at talking so that way we don't have big pauses and I don't have to edit it all. Today I'm going to tell you guys a story about the Miata, what happened to me while I was test driving it yesterday, and the Powerstroke that couldn't. So stay tuned, bear with me, hope you enjoyed the story. So yesterday I took the Miata out for a drive, and I attempted to record as much as I could. I'll tell you that the current vibration inside the car is so bad that the phone just went the entire time. It didn't matter how much stabilization this iPhone 8 has. I had the rubber mounts and I had it actually on the seat even, hoping maybe that some of the seat cushion would absorb some of the vibration before it got to the phone, and that was not the case at all. So I will show you the footage. It sucks. I attempted to use an older GoPro that my buddy gave me. The issue there was the wind noise really was the worst part. Not so much vibration, but the wind noise actually. And I had it mounted right here. And so of course the wind coming right at the car, it was sitting right here, and it was just, and even with the skeleton case on, it's supposed to be rated for 100 miles an hour, it still failed miserably. And so the sound is really bad, but like in the clip you heard last night, and I think it really depends on what you listen to it on, because when I used my headphones, it wasn't so bad, but it still sounded like crap. Let me get to the story here. Took the Miata out, driving around, doing a few pulls, and I want to hear first, if you can comment, tell me what you think, how much boost this thing made. Keep in mind, this is the size turbo that's on it right now. Normally, people run a T25. Okay, T25 is a very, very small turbo. That's a T25. That's what we're currently running. T25, TO4E. I mean, you could just, yeah. There's a lot of difference in size there. So, of course, the TO4E is definitely going to make an extreme amount of boost in comparison. How much it made, I was not expecting at all. So I go out and I'm doing my first few test pulls, and it starts making boost somewhere around 3 grand. Not a whole lot, just a little, a couple pounds here and there. By 4,500 RPMs, this motor, in its current state, no MLS head gasket, stock injectors, running on the NA bass tune that I did just a little bit of manipulating on when we went down to Laguna Seca and came back. That's it. It made 16 PSI. At 4,500 to 5 grand. It was already at full boost, 16 PSI. I didn't see it spike any higher than that. And I'd have to go, I didn't turn on the data logging. I really didn't expect to do what I was doing. And this happens a lot because I'm like, I'm just going to go around the block. And then I end up taking, a 45-minute to an hour drive. And really, at first, it was just cruising along. I'll kind of put a little video up in the corner. Either I'll put it right here or I'll put it over there, depending on the angle of this video. And you'll just see that, I'm just doing polls here and there, little bits, and I'm just kind of feeling it out. Mainly, I went to a place where people were doing, about 70, 75 miles an hour, and I would slow down to 50, and then I would creep back up to traffic, and then I'd slow back down, and then I'd creep back up. And I really was just trying to feel out the car, feel what kind of boost it was making. Having that kind of room in the area that I was at allowed me to, watch the computer itself, watch the AFR, watch the RPM, watch the temperature, all these types of things. I was able to do a lot of monitoring. Now, I will tell you that we did hit a 90% duty cycle. So, as is, we're almost out of fuel. That's okay. We'll get a new fuel pump. But let's talk about what happened when I came back into town. So I come back into town, and I'm somewhere around just underneath Interstate 40. And as I'm coming up to it, and I'll put the video up here so that you can watch it with me, and I'll just tell you what's happening. So a Ford Excursion tries to kind of sandwiched me in from the guy in front of me. Now I saw that the guy in front of me was getting ready, and he was in the right lane there. He's getting ready to move over. I see his blinker, and rather than get stuck behind the Powerstroke, I just moved over. I had plenty of room. I really didn't want to deal with this guy. But then I heard his turbo spool up. He had a silencer ring pulled off. It says he's straight pipe. Yeah, you know, blowing black smoke. And I thought to myself, this is a perfect time to test the Miata. Powerstroke owners, they'll almost always race you. Every time. They're slow too. They're almost always slow. They lose pretty much always. So he runs with me. We take off from that light there, and he's right next to me, and he gets over into the left lane, and I go very slow. Very slow. I let him catch up, and he doesn't get on camera the first time. And I pull on him just a little bit. And then I see that the light was turning red, and you'll see that he comes and passes me in the left lane there. And so we roll up to the light, and I didn't feel like, you know, going from a dead stop, because I don't want to push this thing like that. I don't know what it would do. And so it would be easier for me if we kind of did like a roll race. And I knew that he was going to try to run me. And again, this is an area that had a fairly decent speed, so I wasn't speeding. He's running next to me. This time we both give it the beans. You can hear his turbo spool up. And he couldn't hear mine. I know he couldn't hear mine over that truck, let alone he probably had music playing or something like that. And I just took off on him, right? He did not like that at all. Car pulls out in front of me, and he decides that he is going to try to block me in. I wasn't having none of that. And so I downshifted from fourth into third. I was at full boost and was getting ready to shift into fourth, and I needed to shift early, because anything after about 52, 5300, it starts to go lean, and I know that's when the timing advance starts, kick in. And the power band, the motor, actually starts around, 45 grand. And man, he tried to sandwich me in there. I come down in the shift from third, and I money shift it down into second. It was bad. And that was that backfire you heard at the end there. Run up. It actually just went, run, pop. Because I felt it. I knew immediately what I did, and so I just let off. But that didn't stop it, because I was in neutral, and I thought I was going into second, and it didn't go into second, thankfully. But it didn't go into second. It just kind of stayed into neutral, because I could feel it in the shifter that it wasn't going, and so I didn't try to force it. I wasn't actually in like a race mode. I was just kind of like, I didn't want to run into the guy in front of me, and I wasn't going to let the Powerstroke do what he was doing. I don't know. Call me one of those folks, but I just, you're not going to do that kind of stuff to me. I'll cut you off first. That's fine. I don't care, especially when I know I'm faster. And I pulled over, went to the auto parts shop, started it up this morning. Everything runs great. Car's fine. There's nothing wrong. It didn't get hot. We didn't have any type of spikes, no temp spikes, no nothing. It was just, up to the limiter and then back down. But I did get some colder spark plugs. These are what Flying Miata actually sells, and what they recommend for any turbo Miata, I guess. And that's what I got. Heat range of 7, I believe. I'm not quite sure. I need to actually look up the part number. See, we got a 4091. So I'll look up the part number, and I'll see what's so special about them. But I know that's what Flying Miata sells, what they advertise for all the turbo motors. And I figured it was easy. I had O'Reilly deliver them to my house because I have a commercial account. So that was that. Hope you enjoyed this video about story time of me bringing it to the limiter, hearing about how much boost it made. I'm going to try my hardest to find a way to get you guys some sort of footage. I didn't even think about doing a screen capture on the computer. And I also have the ability, because it is a Bluetooth connection. So I do have an Android tablet, and I'm going to give it a try of hooking up the Tuner Studio to that and go from there, you know, and see if we can't get you guys some screen capture versus me trying to record the computer on the phone while it was laying in the seat there. That was just, you know, it was a bad idea. Yeah, it was a bad idea. So anyways, that's today's video. I just kind of want to let you guys know, anyone who's following the Turbo Miata build, it did fantastic. It made a crap ton of boost. I imagine we could probably see 20-25 psi if we really wanted to, if I wanted to let the gate open and let it do its thing. I didn't think that this little motor was going to push that kind of exhaust pressure. It is 9.5 to 1. I'm not sure the head gasket. Maybe MLS. It might have been replaced with an MLS head gasket. I don't know. That's the only thing I haven't done actually, is open up the motor. So I'm already debating it. I'm already thinking about, you know, ARP head studs, and some things of that nature. But this isn't gonna... First we need to weld the diff, and we need to get it tuned. And I'd like to get some more fuel in it, so we need to get another fuel pump. I've got the RX-8 injectors, we'll get those in there. And we'll see how it acts while it has some more fuel. And I don't want to, but I need to get an adjustable wastegate. Even if it's internal, that's fine. But the wastegate actuator needs to be adjustable. So that's going to be something I'm going to look into next. This was just basically showcasing what you can do on a budget build. And I'm going to try to get some better footage for you guys, especially while I'm waiting on things to come in the mail for FOSDA. There's just not much I can do without the motor mounts coming in. And that'll be done soon. Check that out. It's just sitting on a piece of wood. This thing is so solid that it actually barely sits on that. It's just enough to kind of rest up on it. And see this one here? They're more or less just kind of a precaution. Yep. I am making some snatch plates, as you can see here. Just got done welding up the bottoms, grinding them flat, because as fantastically awesome of a welder as I am, that still needs done. And this is something I'm doing actually to show how I make the template, just something real easy. Maybe that'll be tomorrow's video, just kind of showcasing what we're doing there, unless I get some crazy big development on one of these other projects. So thanks for watching, guys. Very much appreciate y'all checking out this daily December update. Little story about the Miata, kind of an update where we're at here with FOSDA, making some stuff. I think you guys will enjoy what's going to happen with those two snatch plates, and that's this guy here. Just making two of those for some homies that I think can really use them. I'm not after money. I don't really care that much, so I'm just giving them away. That's it. Maybe if I meet someone else who's cool, has a rear-wheel drive J-Series and wants a cooler way to pull it out versus wrapping a friggin' chain around it, it just makes me cringe a little bit. And yeah, I'll get them cleaned up, get them painted. You can see, obviously, I cleaned the rust off. I'll clean all that junk off before it gets painted. All right, then. I'll cut this video, otherwise it's going to be forever. Peace!